Hey, good morning, everybody, or afternoon. A little late, but can get in trouble by a liberal. But you know what? It's not the label liberal that is so intriguing. It's amazing cognitive dissonance that people have. Whereas once they've been programmed via the propaganda, this is both sides of the fence. Um, their reality changes, and anything that is factual that actually comes out, they literally go insane. That's how the brain works. You should look it up, do a little research. So before arguing with people you don't agree with, I guess on either side, you got to realize they're programmed and their brain's programmed, and they've been told the same messaging over and over and over, um, via their mainstream media, or even seeing it on Twitter or any other social media by the way it works. So, but anyways, that was interesting all morning. Black Insurrectionist, that was great that you had all kinds of material out there. I wish you nothing but the best. And it's a great fight, but at some point you just gotta. I don't know what you do with it. You just let it go, and if you try and you can't succeed with certain people, just realize the why. And I always look at the why. A couple other things flying around. So obviously, people don't want to talk about the de-dollarization that is going on. So Saudi Arabia, 10 days ago, decided that it would end the 50-year agreement with the United States and no longer sell oil in just the U.S. dollar. Interesting that I talked about it, posted about it, and suddenly it's picking up on the mainstream media. Um, so suddenly they want to talk about it. So now they're ready a week after it's happened. It's always interesting that the stock market moves when the U.S. can't trade on its own market. So who is trading it? So it's always interesting, right? This is when the market makers make their moves, and so don't be surprised. So with that being said, watch your cash. Watch watch crypto if you're in it. Um, Yep, and then saw the post from Elon. Of course, it's a giant waste of money but it's always a constant waste of money. We see our government sending hundreds of billions of dollars over Ukraine, ordering weapons that won't be delivered for the next 3 to 5 years. Um, you see it spending money on supposed infrastructure development, over $42 billion, and nobody's been hooked up to the internet via the program. You also see the tons and tons of people that have spent billions, over $1 billion in supposedly putting up superchargers, which I have posted and spoke to and said that what the chargers, our infrastructure is not built for it. So it doesn't matter how much money they spend. We don't have the infrastructure, and then with the closure of coal plants and everything else, we don't have the electricity to be charging your electric vehicles. We're sorry, it's just the way it works. They forgot to tell you about that. But hey, what can I say? Try to tell you, but I guess you just got to do your own research, and then when the facts come out, we find out what the truth is. Um, Something else I've posted over and over in my videos and I've talked about is that I do believe a convention of states is the way that we fix things, but it's got to be laser focused. It can't just be an open agenda. It's got to be written at a time, presented and accepted by the people of every state, and then it goes forth. And I think if we do that, I think we can certainly make some changes. Somebody had asked or posted that they thought that I was promoting a civil war. And 100%, anybody that's watched my video posts or any of my other posts, I'm 100% against civil war. Said there is no way in hell that just because I disagree with my neighbor's politics would I ever pick up a gun against somebody. I don't think that's how we do this. You know, there are civil ways, in debate, and that's the Convention of States. And again, it could be laser focused. The federal government cannot stop us from doing it. The only thing stopping us from doing it is governors having the balls to actually call for this convention of states, get this done, presented to the federal government and the Congress, and the Congress has to abide by the Constitution. End of story. And with that being said, if the convention of states happened and there were agendas, and then things are voted on, agreed to, brought back to the states for approval. So it's not a very simple process, and it's certainly lengthy. It has to be timely and it has to be precise. But I think it can be done. I mean, the founding fathers certainly wrote the Constitution. They did it in such a way, and amendments have happened over the years, hundreds of years. But the Convention of States is the way to go, not a civil war. But there's so many things going on in our country, and I certainly hope people pay attention to what is going on. So again, watch your money. De-dollarization is occurring. People worried about Russia and North Korea locking arms. Well, what did people expect? I mean, that was bound to happen. And this certain person that wants to continue trolling the black insurrectionists and myself and a few others wants to say that the election was fair and there was no issues and nothing to question. I don't know. What do you say to somebody that says that? We all have so many questions. We all watch what happened. We all watch the tabulation that is all done electronically. You know, it's simple. You got a lot of governors out there that say, you know what, we don't want electronic voting machines, but yet their Secretary of State still allow it. So why not just get rid of it? It all started back in, the Gore v. Bush, the hanging Chad, and all of a sudden we got computers. Even Elon Musk has admitted that with AI and computers, they can, obviously hack into voting machines. They're problematic, and yet we continue to use them. So we kind of get what we asked for, man. Or we just, if we're not speaking out about it, I don't understand why the governors of all the states to say, hey, wait a second, all this voting was illegal with the mail-in ballots. And I mean, there's tons of governors that say it, as well as senators and other politicians, but yet nobody does anything about it. So I guess if a governor really thought that that was the case, then I guess that state's Congress could just outlaw electronic voting machines and somebody could take part and lead the way. So maybe it'll be Kristi Noem. Down here in Florida, they turned an election result pretty quick. They got it all done, and they bragged about it. But at the same time, get rid of the electronic voting machines. We don't need them. I hopefully everybody liked my post, whereas I said, place the ICE agents outside all the polling stations, put electronic jammers so that no signals can come in, the Wi-Fi connections, right? So then what are people going to say? If every single polling station had ICE agents to make sure that only citizens are voting, everything is done on paper ballots, and we have electronic jamming to make sure there's no Wi-Fi connection craziness going on out there. Let's see what happens. Let's see how this election really rolls. But other than that, convention states, they got together, they can make this all real, and it could all happen if people got involved. So anyways, I hope that gives you a little bit to think about today. I hope you guys all have a blessed day, and I'll talk to y'all soon.